Joris Heine. Can't see the position, unfortunately. Yes. Yeah, black is playing yeah, quite all right. Actually, this is one of the best positions. Definitely one of the best positions that black has in this simul. Gary's trying to squeeze like a boa constrictor, but at least it's not a brutal, quick death. Ah, yes, Jan Kalevat is running out of options, I'm afraid. Oh gosh, attacks coming on all sides. King side is weak. Yeah. And he's motoring along here. Wim Wilson's just made a move, got Garry to pause for a few seconds. You see his face twitching a little bit, the muscles in his face just. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, well, this is a fight. Actually, Kasparov has the advantage here, but this is a proper fight. That, in fact, black is a pawn up. Unfortunately, he's got too many pawn weaknesses, and the advantage is with white. But still, black has two things in his favour. He has an extra pawn, and the advantage of two bishops. That is, two bishops against a bishop and a knight. So that is usually considered to be slightly in favour of the person with the bishops. That means they teach you when you begin chess that a knight is worth 3 points and a bishop is worth 3 points. But once you get some experience, you realise that this isn't quite true. Normally, bishops are better than knights. So it's not quite straightforward for Garry Kasparov here. Black also has a nicely centralized knight, which is well supported. That's another thing which he's got going for him. I think Garry would like to perhaps move his rook up the board just one square, and then to double his rooks, put the other rook behind it to bring pressure in the center. But it's not so easy to do that. So he's having a long think here, because this is a critical moment in the game. He has to find, Kasparov has to find a good plan. Yeah, this is really one of the few boards where he's got. I wouldn't describe it as problems, but he's not having it all his own way. And this is Chris Langtreet, BNP Paribas, and he's doing okay actually. Cruising along. And again, we see here Ton Coppens. Actually, you can say outwardly not doing that catastrophically because at least it's material equality, but in fact black has way too many weaknesses. The knight is attacked, there are open lines, the pawn is attacked. Real difficulties there. I think that was Nicolas who we just had on screen. It's bad for the back, I can tell you. Having played 93 opponents this weekend, it doesn't do you much good if you've got a dodgy back like I have. It's funny that Leonard plays the King's Indian because Garry Kasparov was considered to be a great expert on the King's Indian. It was his big love for many, many years. So it's interesting he's taken up the same. Don't pick your face. Don't do that. Behave. Anyway. He's fighting. He's under a bit of pressure. Garry has more active pieces, but as I say, the opening was championed by Bobby Fischer and Garry Kasparov and some other players, David Bronstein, some other greats, and it's a fighting, combative opening. Nice to see it. It's not very fashionable these days, but I like it when people are prepared to take a few risks. Now it's a question of who is going to be the first one to go out. And I remarked actually during the break that I gave Bart de Wever the sort of the kiss of death, really, because I praised his opening play, and the moment I praised his opening play, he immediately started to play horribly, which is basically what happens sometimes. So curse of the commentator. Yeah, this is actually this is a proper game. Kasparov is. I hope we can stay on this board for just a few seconds. I'd like to say something about it. Yeah, black is a little bit passive, but has developed all his pieces very sensibly, and Kasparov's advantage is well, it's minimal. So at least there is some resistance here. He'll probably regret having pushed his pawn up to h5 in the opening, because you can't put your pawns, you can't move them backwards, and in this sort of position he could do with having his pawn further back to protect his own king. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. This is a little combination. And black was doing reasonably well here. I mean, he was a bit passive, but unfortunately